all my analytics glasses for all those nerds out there.
But Thomas Bryant's jockstrap, get him out of here!
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Donald, get back! They snatched that chain, boy. Get back! What y'all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back! We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1. Get back!
Hey everybody, welcome into the Big Factory here on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Ryan Tyler. He's Jack O'Rourke. He's Nick Pedone. He's Rob Watson. It is a beautiful Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. 10:04 on the dot, guys. Pleasure to be in studio with you guys. Football is right around the corner. We got some insane news last night. I guess kind of insane news. Another quarterback added to the Browns roster. Snoop Huntley making his return to Cleveland. Jack, I know you are a fan favorite, or excuse me, yeah, you are a
Snoop
Huntley is a fan favorite, and
for me,
you might lead that march.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we got 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks now in the room. We got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. We got an ACC championship game MVP, and we got 2 rookies. So
Joe Flacco
what's not to
like?
like?
He's still counting Deshaun.
I think Nick made an incredible point last night though on Twitter. I saw. I don't know if the Browns know that they can only play 1 quarterback at one time.
You know, typically that's what they do. Now I've followed a couple. You know, I kind of got my knocks in this industry covering high school football, and maybe Kevin Stefanski. You know, they said Kevin Stefanski's getting back to his old offense. Maybe the old offense is throwing it like all the way back to when he played in high school, and we're going to just have QB by committee where it's going to be a drive of Flacco and then a drive of Pickett and then a drive of Snoop Huntley and then a drive of Gabriel and then a drive
Even
of Shador.
We're going to have it so literally they know what we're running. We're going to have a quarterback who's really good at handoffs. We're going to have one who's good at tosses. We're going to have an option quarterback. We're going to have a quarterback we put in when it's time to throw it under 10 yards. Dylan Gabriel, looking at you. We're going to have a guy that's throwing deep bombs only. Flacco. Shador's going to play the intermediate. Perfect, bro. The defense will never see what's coming.
We could also do, like, you remember the Ravens like Heisman package when they had Lamar, Ingram, and RG3 on the field at once? Like we could do a ACC championship game MVP package with Deshaun and Kenny Pickett.
Quarterback roulette. I
Fuck
like
this
that.
team.
Keep the defense on their toes. You never know who they're going to send out under center. I mean, okay, let's talk about why they did this. I'm assuming preseason, you don't know if Dylan Gabriel is going to be able to go. You don't want to start Shador Sanders the whole entire game. This is probably a guy you need to eat a quarter or 2 in the preseason game in Carolina and moving forward.
That's what this seems like, right? You've got 2 QBs in Pickett and Gabriel that have hamstring injuries. Now, I really think everybody could have a little giggle to themselves because, yes, they're dealing with these hamstring injuries. They haven't practiced in the team drills since both of these hamstring injuries have happened respectively, but they have participated in practice. So it's not like it's fallen off the bone. You know, they have been getting some work in, and that's what makes the addition of Snoop Huntley even funnier is because now you genuinely do have 5 different QBs that are going to be active today at practice in Berea. It's a lot of QBs. It really is. And there's only so many snaps because if you go a minute over that horn blowing, the NFLPA is ringing up your phone. So there's only so many passes that can be thrown at one time. Like they leave for Carolina today. So if you've ever thrown a pass at any level, head on over to Berea because you don't want to miss your plane ride out of here.
Step up, bro.
Yeah, fast.
He's like, the sass me.
So let me be that
Did
guy.
I just get drafted?
What are we going to do when Huntley starts and he plays like the Trey Lance bulk of the game?
What's
and
going to happen?
They gatekeep Shador for like the last 5 minutes.
I don't think it's going to happen. I really think, how about this, guys? Like, we've spent so much time kind of belly aching what's going on with Shador and the fact that he wasn't being given a fair shot with the first team reps. And even now that the injuries to Pickett and Gabriel have happened, it's been majority Flacco, at least yesterday at practice. Like, all of that's changed now because Shador Sanders is set up perfectly to start preseason game number 1 in Carolina and never relinquish the reins to that job. Like, if he goes out in Carolina and balls, there's going to be a conversation that's had. Now, the conspiracy theorists will have their day if come later this week, Snoop Huntley is announced the preseason game 1 starter and we hardly see Shador in Carolina at all. The conspiracy theorists will have their moment in the sun, but just for right now, just for a moment, all of us have been on Shador Sanders Island for many months, and the sun is finally starting to peek through. It was lonely on that island for a little bit, but the sun is finally starting to poke through the clouds.
Do you guys think that there's any kind of shifting gears here? Do you think there's in any way, shape, or form that Shedeur Sanders could come in the back half of the year, whether he starts 3 games, whether he starts 6 games, who knows, that he could play well enough to the point where the Cleveland Browns would not draft a quarterback in the first round with one of their first 2 picks?
It would have to be tremendously early. Like it would. I played this scenario out in my head this morning. Funny enough, it would have to be Shedeur starts Friday in Carolina, balls out. It replicates that in preseason game number 2, replicates that here at home in preseason game number 3, and forces the Browns to have what I've said all along is the smart path to take with this quarterback situation this year, and that's let Joe Flacco start the season against the Bengals week 1. He gives you the best chance to win. Let him get through the Baltimore Ravens game week 2 in Baltimore. And at some point there in the very first couple of weeks of the season, turn the keys over to Shedeur Sanders. And we heard Dan Lobby on the Big Play Cleveland show just a week ago say that for Gabriel or Sanders to be the QB in 2026, it has to be an emphatic yes. The Browns have to be that confident in marrying either of those 2 guys. So to me, Shedeur has to get on the field early in the season and then never relinquish that throne and just really ball out and, not replicate what Jaden Daniels did. I think that's a little lofty expectations, but make this offense look damn plausible with him at the helm, and that's how you never see anybody else other than Shedeur.
So let me ask you this then, Nick, because I'm under the impression that if Dylan Gabriel does not go out before Shedeur Sanders, be it politics, whatever the reasoning is, skill on the actual football field would be a great one for Shedeur Sanders to go out first. I think Dylan Gabriel is cooked if he doesn't go out first between those 2. Like, I think if you draft him higher, you just do something to his confidence that is like I guess you can't undo in a way.
No, because the thing with Dylan Gabriel, like, he's not a starter. You, me, Ryan, Rob, everybody that has seen practice with their own 2 eyes has said, like, Dylan Gabriel's not a franchise quarterback anyways. He was a 3rd-round pick that should have been a 5th or a 6th-round pick. He's a 10-year backup, and that's probably why they drafted him. But it just so happened that you had Shedeur, who has a much higher floor and a much higher ceiling, fall into your lap. Like, it's not a 1-to-1, Shedeur to Dylan Gabriel. Like, if Shedeur pops and he's the franchise quarter, to the pie in the sky, I don't really see it happening, but I guess it technically could happen scenario that we just laid out, where Shedeur gets on the field, plays tremendously well. They don't draft a rookie QB in 2026 because of how well Shedeur played. Like, in that world, then Dylan Gabriel is still probably your backup quarterback. Like, I don't think that like, in a best case scenario where Shedeur just takes advantage of this hamstring injury to Pickett and Gabriel, like, and never hands it back, that's fine.
What are Cleveland Browns fans going to do when Shedeur Sanders comes in, balls out, and they trade him for like a 3rd?
It's possible.
Stadium,
it's possible,
fire.
right?
Crash out.
It's possible
Crash out.
because even and if he plays really well, you could probably even get more than a 3rd. We've seen QBs do like Joe Milton got traded for a 3rd-round pick off of one promising game. So let Shedeur Sanders play well in the preseason and then win 4 or 5 games at the back half of the season. And if the Browns still want to take a QB in the first round of the 2026 NFL draft, They could use Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel as a trade chip. Like, it is possible.
Joe Milton got traded when Drake May was already on the team, or they drafted him after?
No, when he was already on the team.
He was already on the team.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't have a Drake May. If they do that, everyone's going to crash out. I don't think 3. Well, how many did you say? Did you say 3 games at the end of the season?
Yeah. If he plays 3, if he plays 6, I want
double
6
that,
games.
and
I want 6 games. I want a 3rd of a season where I'm able to see Shedeur Sanders.
I think
play.
that's the minimum.
That'd be my
he
dream.
needs to play 6, and he needs to win at the minimum 3. But I would say 4, and he would.
It's got to be way more.
He
than
would
that.
have to excel
You
at all.
think?
It's got to be way more.
If he
than
won
that.
4, if he went
to
4
stop
and
them
2,
from drafting a QB in
Which
the first
sucks
round.
because Nick, which
it's gotta
sucks
be
because
12.
goes against
4 and
what the
2.
Browns, what you say the Browns' philosophy is the fact that they want the process over results. Well, that would be the process over results if you're not looking at Shedeur to necessarily win the games, but play well in those games.
He goes 4 and 2
plays
down the year.
6 games. He throws.
I just don't
10
think it's
touchdowns,
enough. I
one
think this-
interception and like a couple thousand yards in 6 games, and we win 4 4 and they go and draft a quarterback?
Sample size is too small. That's what they'll tell you. I don't agree with
That's
it.
on their own.
I don't
That's
agree
on their
with
own
it.
accord.
That's bad.
I don't agree with it. Yeah, it is on their own accord because you guys had 10 other QBs.
And then if he goes in and
if
does
all
that
that
at the end of
happened-
the year, it just proves we
Here's
can't.
the, if you start 0-3, you start 0-4, which is a very possible chance, and you don't go to these rookie quarterbacks right away. What are we doing?
Yeah, and that's why like it's become abundantly clear as this thing has progressed. Listen, football 101, right? Like at any level, Pop Warner to NFL, you're not wasting snaps in practice. I told you guys, the whole thing that you only get 45 minutes to an hour, and when the horn blows, you have to get off the field. Otherwise, the NFLPA is going to have an absolute meltdown. So in such a short amount of time, you can't be wasting reps for guys that you aren't going to have play. So the fact that Shedeur Sanders, who I know we're all really upset hasn't had the amount of first-team reps that we've wanted, is even getting time with the second team, they're telling you they're getting him ready to advance himself on the depth chart at some point in this season. And surely enough, aren't we seeing this happen in real time? Like, you have an opportunity right now, does Shedeur Sanders, to go up there and win this job as a dude that has barely had any first-team reps because Joe Flacco's 41 years old, Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel are hurt, and you could go out there and default be QB2 if these hamstring injuries are of any substance.
So let me ask you guys this then, because Nick, you're starting to get me excited for a rookie quarterback playing sooner than I thought. What do you guys all think are the percentage chances that a rookie QB starts overseas in London?
What week is that?
Week
5.
5, I believe.
0.
Yeah, because you're not going to do that to them.
It's impossible. Doesn't this doesn't
But if you switch after week 3,
if the Browns
That
are
would
like,
be
all right,
the
Shedeur, you're
dumbest-
starting
the
week
dumbest thing
5 in
dude,
London.
they would do that kind of shit.
Doesn't
though.
the last 16 hours show you that it's impossible to project this? Because this time yesterday, this time last week, if you would have asked us who's starting preseason game number 1, we would have told you Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel based off of what we've seen the Browns' preference be in practice. But things change in the NFL week to week. Things change in the NFL hour to hour. So it's impossible to try to put your finger on and identify when any of these guys are going to start. This is living proof. Like, Shedeur Sanders has a tremendous opportunity of starting Friday in Carolina, and none of us would have seen that coming even a couple of days ago. So, like, yeah, I mean, there's a chance that he could that any of the rookies could start even prior to London. Like, even when they get back home from the Ravens game week 3 against the Packers. Like, and this is a Browns season where anything is possible. When you have this many quarterbacks, the old adage, and people hate this, but when you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback. Like, it's the truth. When you've got 5 quarterbacks, 6 quarterbacks now, you truly do not have one, and they are going to just throw crap at the wall and see what sticks this year.
Barring injury, bro, I doubt we see someone before week 7 or until the bye week.
All right, we got to take a break, but real quick, what's more likely? And neither of these are likely, of course. That's why I'm asking it. Dylan Gabriel becomes our franchise quarterback, or Deshaun Watson returns to form and is our franchise quarterback?
Deshaun Watson returns to form.
The meteor collides with
Mom
Earth.
versus coughing baby.
Yeah.
Give me Deshaun low key though.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take our break. When we get back, we're not talking about the Browns. This is maybe the craziest quarterback room of all time. We'll talk about it when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson, and our great friends over at Fairway Ford Ohio. Fairway Ford is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state of Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks, and they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealer. You see right above me, Fairway Ford summer sale still going on. It's a perfect time to make that short drive to Canfield and save thousands of dollars while potentially finding your dream vehicle. Over 500 vehicles in stock on their lot. We had the opportunity to go. It did not disappoint. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing and same hometown level of service. Scan that QR code now or go give their website a visit. fairwayfordohio.com. Again, that's fairwayfordohio.com. All right, guys, we got the news yesterday. We already talked about it a bunch. Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley, joining the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Welcome back. You know, I'm on Spotrac right now, and I'm looking at the available quarterbacks. Obviously, they still have Teddy Bridgewater on here, who we know just signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We had Tyler Huntley on here, who we know just signed with the Cleveland Browns. What would be the funniest quarterback ever? The only ones I see available are Carson Wentz, C.J. Beathard, Jeff Driscoll, Logan Woodside. I don't even know who that is, I'll be honest with you. And Jake Fromm.
I think Logan Woodside was on the Bengals for a minute.
So he was on the. It
You're
says his
a freak
previous
if you
team
know
was the
that.
Bengals.
I mean, I'll verify that.
No, you're right, because
ridiculous.
it says his last team was the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Jake Fromm was the
Fromm
Georgia
Dude,
Georgia
he was-
quarterback.
Jake
Didn't
Fromm
he, like,
won the
through-
Natty,
He came through here.
got 0 hours of sleep and went on Sports Center, and he was fucking blasted.
He's been through Berea for
Wasn't-
a camp
didn't he,
tryout.
He might have like tweeted something bad on draft night that dropped him a couple rounds.
I don't think he tweeted on
I don't even know that he got drafted.
No, well, I think he was supposed to, because he was a big deal when he was a huge recruit. I
So
think.
I'm trying to mix like Stetson Bennett.
But by
the Rams.
He was
Stetson
in the
Bennett's
fifth
the one who
round.
got hammered on TV, I think.
They both did.
Oh, they both.
I think so.
Well, I mean, there's something
Maybe it
about
was-
Georgia
I
football
think
players
you're
getting drunk. So
Yeah, give him the keys. I think it was Stetson Bennett. Now that I'm thinking
I'm
about
pretty sure,
it.
yeah.
NASCAR
But
University.
dude, I mean, you could bring back Jeff Driscoll because he was here last year as well. So you could have, we could just like, because then if you bring in Jameis, you just mesh the last 2 years of quarterback rooms. It would just be the same 6 guys who were here at one point last. Hell, get PJ Walker up
I
here
just
too. Where's
found
he
the
at?
Jake Fromm thing.
that was him, right?
He said elite white people should be the only people to purchase guns. It got leaked on draft night. It was a text.
I would definitely rather have the Laramie Tunsil
Yeah, that's up
long
there with
mask.
the
than
Laramie
Why
that.
do we not run up Carson Wentz? Why not, bro? Let's just bring in white
why?
Jameis
Oh, he
Winston,
lost the
bro.
Super
Let's
Bowl.
do it. bro.
Carson Wentz for the last couple of years, I feel like has been always linked to Cleveland. You know, there's quarterbacks that have always been linked to Cleveland.
we
were supposed
AJ
to just draft
McCarron.
him.
Yeah, well,
AJ
we almost had
McCarron
him.
was going to be on Cleveland like 6
You
different
were
times.
supposed
Jimmy
to pick
Garoppolo was
Wentz.
going to be on Cleveland
Yeah.
6 different times.
I feel like there was a day and a time where there were Derek Carr rumors too.
I mean, I'm sure, yeah. At that point, you were just fishing for any decent quarterback that you could go throw money at to come waste away their career.
Well, there was a weird. All this kind of came from. There was a weird like couple of days. It wasn't very long. It was only a couple of days when Deshaun told the Browns no,
Yes.
and Baker requested his trade because they boarded the plane to go down there to meet with him and made him the offer anyway. So it was like a pocket of like 4 or 5 business days where people were genuinely trying to sell themselves on Jimmy G.
I never understood that.
Jameis Winston QB1 dialogue was had because he was a free agent that
think
offseason.
like, as long as Kevin Stefanski is the Cleveland Browns head coach, there will be Kirk Cousins rumors to Cleveland at some point in time. Like people just love that Kevin and Kirk connection too. He always comes up.
I'm looking at like these other positions, and I know we signed
Next offseason, we will be
we
doing
signed
Kirk Cousins.
Toa-
We do all did.
we signed Toa Tua. Is that or
Yeah, the running back. Yeah.
Toa Tua? How you
Dude,
pronounce
some
it?
guy called in the radio station and asked about that. I was like, I don't know. He had 350 rushing yards in the UFL.
I do have a Toa story though. So
Oh,
there's one
please.
in his Browns tenure. I
Please tell
was right by where all the Browns players were like running out at training camp on Saturday, and there's like a group of youth football players out there who were like going crazy for everyone. Obviously, like Denzel, they were going nuts. But even like the guys who they had no clue who they were, like they were giving a little cheer for and stuff. But everyone was just like running out right away, like hitting hands, barking at him. And Toa Taua stopped and like so like there's just like guy after guy running through. These kids are screaming. He stopped to like say a prayer before, so he like just stops and like puts his head down and goes dead silent, and just like it was the funniest thing watching all these kids like just not know how to react whatsoever. But then Toa Taua ran out, and that was probably the only thing I'll remember about his Browns tenure.
What do we know about, or not what do we know about, but I'm looking at
That's
these.
what the guy said too. What do we know about Toa Taua? He had 350 rushing yards
he
in
had,
the
like- he had, like-
UFL.
He had
Sick
like
name.
the amount of yards per carry like Terrence West had on the Browns, but on like the Montreal Alouettes. Like
I was so pressed. No, he was not. You know what I
Terrence
remember?
West was goated at preseason.
Bro, Terrence West screwed up the trick play where Johnny Manziel and Shanahan did the receive.
Well, wasn't that illegal as hell anyway? You can't be staring perpendicular to the sideline.
He wasn't. The Terrence West.
I don't know who cooked up that play without looking at the rule book.
Ben Tate, three-headed monster with Brian Hoyer under center had us at like 7-4 or something at one point. Man.
And
Right, guys, I want to ask you this.
Best slot receiver.
Here
of all
are
time.
the free agent running backs that we elected to take Toa
thanks.
2-0.
I'm good over all the guys on
Any
this
late-
list.
I want to hear.
The list is bad, and it's somehow worse. Ernest Johnson is now even
Mr.
not even.
Sticky's on there.
He's not on there anymore. He got
that
signed.
slow grind.
So
turtle
Zach
emoji?
Moss, I believe, just retired.
Okay. Don't need him.
Jamal Williams, he's 30.
We could take a goal line back.
Where's Duke Johnson?
Gus Edwards.
Okay, I'd take either one of them over what we got right now. We need someone to run in between the tackles.
Is Deontay Foreman on there?
Yes.
Yes.
John
Okay.
Tafur-
Wow. Good
John
on that.
Kelly's on here too.
Good on that.
Your guy. Amir Abdullah, he's 32.
He's
Chase
old.
Edmonds, Jamichael Hasty. Wow,
Okay.
that's a name. Travion Williams.
GG.
Do you remember when Deshaun Watson played one good drive as the Browns quarterback?
Fantasy superstar who I remember one year, I think it was a championship week, like I think it was Dalvin Cook was out or something, and Mike Boone went crazy. Mike Boone.
Do you remember Deshaun's like one good drive and when Deontay Foreman fumbled on the 1 yard line?
No, I don't remember that.
No,
not? What are
because
you
this is we're not going to the Super Bowl. This is about developing young players, and I need to see if Dylan
We're
Sampson.
gonna get him killed running in between the tackles.
I mean,
He's gonna
hey,
die.
you're welcome to the National Football League. Jerome Ford,
Oh my God.
Dylan Sampson, Pierre Strong.
How are we gonna know if the O line is good if we can't have someone who knows how to read the A and B gaps?
That's your running back. I mean, Quinshon Judkins. Hopefully, he's back by week 7 or 8.
Well, he's got to sign a contract for that to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, that's just. I mean, we don't need to revisit Quinshon. It's just so. It's so Browns-ish to
Devin
have the
Bush
one
for
version.
sure.
Well, it's just like I know you can't control.
How about that on the
Oh, and
depth
by
chart?
the way, I saw a report yesterday, and it's coaches speak, it's reports, it's training camp. You're gonna buff up your players, but regardless, I've seen multiple tweets about how good Travion Henderson looks. I've seen I think it was a red zone drill. He got like 3 touchdown passes. Like that's just the most Browns thing ever. Travion Henderson's gonna be a Hall of Fame back.
And it's just so crazy that, and like again, they can't control the Quinshon Judkins thing. You have no way of knowing that beforehand, but like it is August 5th or whatever it is right now, and basically the Browns' 2nd and 3rd round picks are just already null and void, which is ridiculous.
And nobody in God's green earth has talked about Mason Graham, which I understand it's a first round D tackle, but it's still a top 5 pick.
Hold on, I heard he was frying a little bit. They're
He
saying
looked
he's looking good.
Well, he looked good against.
Nick,
I think it was Wyatt
He
Teller.
lost some weight.
That's
That's
why I told people were worried. Like he's fat. I'm like, guys, wait till he gets into an NFL training room. They're gonna get him right.
From what I heard, Schlesinger and Graham look good.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And Fannin looks solid.
Schlesinger's
too.
a
If you
big
think
kid,
about
too.
this, if you guys think about this, that's usually how you're grading NFL drafts is what you do with your first pick and your second pick. And if those guys hit, all right, you could get a pass on quite literally everything else. We've spent so much time talking about their 3rd round pick and 5th round pick because we haven't had a QB since 1999. We're literally starved for it. But things do start to look up if Mason Graham and Schlesinger get on the field early and often in their rookie campaigns, and all signs indicate that both of them are projected to be day 1 starters. Dude, like, you could whiff on Gabriel and Shador both and sit back down for the 2026 NFL draft and find your QB. If those guys are hits on the defensive side of the ball, like, this defense is going to be good. That's the thing. This defense is going to bounce back a little bit.
That's why I wanted to put MJ Emerson when we ranked the most important absences. I almost put MJ Emerson at 1.
Secondary ball.
Yes, but like the D line, dude, with my and who knows who's going to be the edge rusher number 2, whether it's Isaiah
It
or.
should be Isaiah McGuire.
But you have Miles Garrett, you have
Mason.
Mason Graham, you have Malik Collins, who I thought was a good offseason signing. You have Mike Hall, Shelby Harris is back. Like, that's fine. At the second level, like, imagine if you had Jock. But if we did have Jock, I don't know if we would have drafted Schlesinger. But that's aside the point. And then the secondary, if you had MJ Emerson and he had a good year, your boundaries are locked up, and then you were just dying for a free safety. I don't know how Ronnie Hickman's going to look.
I kind of think though.
If we drafted Nick Emenwari and
Hunter.
Schlesinger.
But no, the thing that I don't understand still, like I think if you look at it this way though, the offense cannot be worse than last year. Like there's no, I would like to think there's no chance the offense is physically worse. But here's the thing, like with how bad Deshaun's offense was and the amount of 3 and outs, like that defense was so dog tired every single game last year. Like you have to think if we can at least like ground and pound a little bit and eat a tiny bit of clock, like this defense has to get a tiny bit better.
I agree. I mean, but dude, last year Kevin Stefanski was actually like decently at some points in the game scheming people open, and Deshaun was calling them decoys. So I agree. I don't think the offense can be as worse
that's
as
what I'm
they
saying
are
is like,
last
how do you
year.
expect the defense to be good when they're on the field for 40 minutes a game every single week?
Well,
like, it's embarrassing.
I think Dylan Sampson's got potential, man, but like Jerome Ford, Dylan Sampson,
he could
and
just never be a
Pierre
bell
Strong,
cow.
bro.
Yeah, it's like-
so how are we going to control clock with no bell cow? This
We're
is where I'm
not.
lost.
We're not. That's why I
This is
dropped
why
the
I'm-
Browns from 7 wins to 3. All right.
If Judkins is a miss, that'll haunt us, bro.
Yeah,
badly.
we got to take a break. We get back. Big football show today. I love it. We're done talking about the NFL. We're flipping over to college football. Ohio State Buckeyes
Delta
ranked
Dom.
number 2 in the first coaches poll. Texas paces that ranking at number 1. No surprise there. We'll talk about that when we get back right here on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. We're flipping over to college football. I can't believe it's already that time of year. But first, I got to tell you about our friends at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic lime and classic light lager. Beer-flavored beer. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want beer to taste, and that's beer-flavored beer. Scan the QR code now or go give their website a visit, drinkgaragebeer.com, to find local retailers who sell garage beer near you. Again, that's drinkgaragebeer.com. All right, guys, college football is right around the corner. The first AP college poll has released. Texas paces the way number 1, Ohio State number 2, Penn State number 3, Georgia number 4, Notre Dame 5, the usual suspects. Rounding out the top 10, Clemson 6, Oregon 7, Bama 8, LSU 9, and Miami, of course, Florida, not Ohio, ranked number 10. Any thoughts?
No, not really. I think that you can't really put Ohio State too far away from number 1 after the season last year. And like Texas, a lot of people think strong. You're coming in with Arch. I know they had a big injury on their offensive line that got reported yesterday, so like that could be an issue, especially going to the shoe week 1. But like the two elite teams you're going to put right there, obviously getting Aller, Singleton, and Katron back. Penn State's going to be up there too.
SEC leads the way with, what is it, 1, 2, 3,
9,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in the top 25. Big Ten, of course, second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. I was trying to tell Bruce, and I was asking him because he's an old head. And he was talking about the SEC, and I was asking Bruce, I'm like, listen, the Big Ten's coming for the title for the best conference in college football, especially with Oregon coming over. And he still said, no, Ryan, slow your roll. But I'm looking at last year. I mean, Ohio State's obviously your national champion. You didn't play an SEC. You played a Notre Dame in the championship. Penn State went there. Like last year, Big Ten took a huge step up, and I think last year they were the best conference in college football. I don't think you can debate that last year they were.
Well, you can't debate also that the last 2 national champions are from the Big Ten. You know, make what you will about that Michigan national championship and what went into that, and then the Ohio State national championship last year. Penn State is much improved, and you mentioned Oregon in the Big Ten now as well. Like, teams are going to be gunning for the Buckeyes. Like, you are once again the hunted. And I know the Buckeyes kind of always are the hunted a little bit, but it felt like for years and years, you've been able to just dominate over anybody else. Like, in years past, you see Penn State on the schedule, and you're not pressed about James Franklin and Penn State, who it seems like he's allergic to winning a big game. But now, I mean, returning Drew Aller for another season and some of the other pieces that they've added at receiver, and they've, the defense, lost Michael Parsons, which is a big, or not Michael Parsons, Abdul Carter, which is going to be a big deal, but they're always going to be good. And now that Michigan's got Bryce Underwood, and how good can he be, I don't know, but they've had your number the last couple of years. Like, Ohio State officially is the hunted despite winning a national championship, you guys just sent a lot of dudes to the National Football League. You still don't know who the starting quarterback is, and I know that's been consistent with most of Ryan Day's tenure. Besides last year with Will Howard, it's been a question mark as to who would be the starting quarterback, but man, it ain't going to be a cakewalk this year for Ohio State. It's really not going to be.
I was going to say also for the SEC, though, in their defense a little bit, I think last year was probably the worst year you've gotten out of the SEC in the last 10 years. Like, they lost the greatest coach of all time in the sport, probably the Heisman winner, and then their conference champion lost their quarterback in the playoffs. So, if you look at, bad things or things that could have knocked a conference down a peg, you probably can't look much further than those three things being the case. But, Nick, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think Ohio State only has, I saw 6 returning starters this year. So, you send so many guys to the draft, and that is always tough when you are the hunted to come back and, keep that head the next year. But, I don't know. You also do return the best offensive player and the best defensive player in the friggin' sport. So, how bad can they be?
Georgia, I still love Kirby Smart. I think he's the best coach in college football. You went from the well. You had Jake Fromm, Stetson Bennett. I'm forgetting somebody.
Carson Beck.
Well, that was my point. Carson Beck, I don't think is good. And then you went to Gunnar Stockton, who's going to start this year. So I wonder how they'll be.
I think he's sick.
Texas,
he was really good against Notre
Texas.
Dame.
A lot of people wanted them to bench Quinn during the run in the playoffs and start Arch. So that'll be interesting. And I mean, other than that, what SEC team? Alabama, a second year.
That was
going to
be my whole point. I think the SEC is super overhyped.
Yes.
These teams come in top 25 every year. A&M will finish outside of it.
I think they're gonna be good this year.
Florida or Ole Miss or Tennessee is gonna drop out. They get the preseason hype, but they all have to play each other. Yeah, LSU at 9, Bama at 8. I get Bama's Bama, but they have the same QB thing. They don't know who's playing this year. It's the same deal, but I think the Big Ten, they just got a lot more consistency returners, like Illinois, Michigan, are teams that you don't usually think of, but they're going to be consistent regardless. They bring back guys. I think Penn State possibly has the most talented roster outside of UGA right now because Texas still has question marks. We still got to figure out what Arch is going to be. And I also think Oregon might take a step forward with Dante Moore, who could possibly be more of a playmaker than Dylan Gabriel. But SEC, I think, always just gets a lot of overhype before the season. And Big Ten usually has more talent and is more consistent with more pro-style teams, in my opinion.
Week 1 is going to be absolutely nuts. Obviously, we get Ohio State, Texas, and then LSU, Clemson. I don't think, Brian Kelly hasn't won an opener in 3-4 years.
Death Tax isn't betting against Brian Kelly in his first game of the season.
Yeah.
It's LSU's got they're top 10 and they'll finish it they might not even be in the top 25.
What did Brian Kelly do?
That was when he banged the table last year after. He killed someone. I thought that's what you're. Yes, he did kill someone. That was what you're referencing.
All right, let's take a break. When we get back, we're doing a little NCAA Heisman draft. I'm excited for this, Jack. When we get back, I'll have you explain it, and then we'll jump right into it.
Sweet.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. Before we dive into our NCAA Heisman draft, speaking of winners, though, this could be a Heisman. The 2025 Great Geauga County Fair, Nick.
We've got a countdown. 23 days. 23 days till the Great Geauga County Fair begins. Get your tickets now, geaugafair.com. Advanced ride tickets are available now. The fair band schedule is out now. The horse show schedule is now with livestock sale information available all online right now. geaugafair.com. Thursday, August 28th through Monday, September 1st. Come join us at all of the action. tractor pull, demolition derby, all of the fried food that you could imagine, thousands of live animals. We're going to be out there hanging out, doing some content, and you guys should join us. Tickets start at just $10. Children 6 and under get in for completely free. So come hang out with us and have the fun this summer right here in Northeast Ohio. You don't got to get on a plane and go through TSA and take all your shoes. Keep the shoes on. Great Geauga County Fair, and geaugafair.com is the way to check out all the fun that they've got this Labor Day weekend and get your tickets now.
How many animals?
Thousands.
That's a lot of animals. Before we dive into this, I want to ask you guys. Obviously, Jack, I know you're rooting for Notre Dame this season, as always. I root for the Bearcats, but unfortunately, they're nowhere near the top 25. So I've dedicated this season to the Florida Gators because they're my dynasty team in NCAA 26. And I will not pledge my allegiance to anybody else. Rob, Nick, I'm assuming you're Buckeyes. I know you're not a huge Buckeye fan, but
Yeah, by default.
but you're not going to pick Kent State, kind of similar to how I'm not going to pick Cincinnati
Well, for what? For like the
to win. You know, I want a team to root for. And I know it's not going to be the Bearcats when we get into the late months.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm gonna pull for Kent State every week. Like week 1, you got Merrimack. Like you've got to win that game.
Loss.
I look at the other games on the schedule, and they're not. You know, after that, you go to Texas Tech, you go to Oklahoma.
Don't
Like,
even show up.
Yeah, you're not winning those games. So like I don't know. Like it's hard for me. Like yeah, I pull for Kent every week. I really do. So I guess Ohio State kind of as a default because everybody else pulls for Ohio State, and of course I want to see Ohio State do well. I was happy when they won the national championship last year. Like I'm from Ohio, but like my whole thing with this entire conversation is I didn't go to Ohio State. My parents didn't go to college at all. So like Ohio State has not done anything for me. I could not have gotten into Ohio State even if I wanted to. So they've never done anything for me. So like I don't know. It sounds kind of like pretentious, but it's like, why should I?
No, I agree with you. I'm the same way.
I think most people have that school of thought.
Rob, how about you? What say you, Rob?
Simply because I watch all the games to do my job better for Bobby, I'm cheering for Ohio
Oh,
State
that's
just because
valid.
I have to watch all the games and I want to be up to date. So I know so much now watching a show every week about all the backups and whatnot. So and then my colleges weren't D1. So I cheer for Baldwin Wallace football, but D3 team. So that's just how it is for me.
Yeah, I cheer for Notre Dame, but I don't give a shit about John Carroll football.
All right, Jack, explain to the great people listening what we're doing.
So we're doing a Heisman draft today, folks. We're going to go around the room here. Snake draft. Ryan is starting. We're just drafting Heisman candidates so we can keep track of the guys who we thought in August we're going to have a big year when it's time for the award season. In January, we'll come back around to this at the end of the year and add up the point total system based off who gets the final votes for the Heisman.
All right, so do I have the 101?
Yeah, you can go. Do you guys want to go around this way?
Yeah, I think that works.
Sweet.
All right. I could sit here and take Arch, the favorite, the most popular guy in college football, probably. However, I'm not going to do that. I want to be fun, and I think this guy will certainly be in New York in the Final Four, and I think he has a chance to win it. The most dominant receiver we've seen in college football in a very long time. Fan favorite here in Ohio, of course. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Smith at the 101.
All right.
Good pick.
Good pick.
Good pick. Got to chalk that
Yeah.
up to a good pick.
Yeah.
You know, that's a guy that even if
No
he doesn't
sweat bet right there,
even if
Ryan.
he doesn't win it, right?
be
Like
there.
you
Yeah.
you just envision Jeremiah Smith at
There's
Radio City.
Bearing injury, knock on wood, hopefully not. I can't see a scenario he's not in New York as a finalist.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a good pick. You know there's going to be some quarterbacks there with them, but they love to throw the non-quarterback position at least a petty invite. Again, it's an uphill battle for him to win it.
The last non-quarterback was Devontae Smith, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, Travis Hunter
Hunter last year.
last
duh,
year.
Travis
But
Hunter.
before that,
Before
yeah.
that, yeah.
The pick is in. I'll take Arch Manning it too
Yeah.
since he didn't
That's a
do it. We'll
yeah.
take it.
That makes sense.
Oh.
All right, so Nick,
Do
I'll
do
go
do
with you.
do 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 do.
Do I go long shot?
Well, save it for the next pick probably if
We
you don't
got
think
3
Jack's gonna
rounds,
pick
bro.
it. We
We're
have 3
trying to
rounds.
win. Don't try to. We're not building a parlay. We're trying
Like
to.
if that's the guy, if the guy you're thinking of, you can get him next round, I would wait.
I could get him next round.
Snake
I'll be
too.
patient.
You'll
I'll-
pick before me. and
I'll
Ryan.
be patient. Give me Garrett Nussmeier out of LSU. I think they've shown the Heisman pipeline between Burrow, Daniels. I really think there's a world where I know like the Browns fans, we have our eyes on some of these other, Nussmeier is a name that you don't hear to the Browns as much. You've heard Klubnik, you've heard Manning, you've heard, Aller and Sellers. Nussmeier's dad being the OC at New Orleans Saints doesn't get talked enough about.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his dad, like Garrett
Plays down the
Nussmeier's
bayou
dad,
right now too. It would make too much sense.
Is the OC at the Saints. So to win the Heisman with LSU and then to be the top pick to the Saints is kind of like a story that ESPN would just be stumbling over.
I was listening
themselves for.
to a podcast, and I'm sorry I failed to give credit because I don't remember who it was. I think it was Marty Smith was talking on Sportsmanlike, and he's talking about Garrett Nussmeier, how, Joe Burrow, his first year at LSU wasn't great, but then the second year he had one of the best college football seasons we've ever seen, similar to Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier said he wants to be the one that leads LSU to a national championship. Like, he doesn't want it to be anybody else. So, I mean, that's a good pick. Jack, you have back-to-back picks now.
I mean, you know who I'm taking at pick number 4. I gotta go with number 4 himself, Jeremiah Love, for Notre Dame.
Tough-ass celebration.
It is a really tough celebration. He's the coolest dude in the country. Here's the thing, though, guys. Last year, there was 568 carries in the Notre Dame backfield. Jeremiah Love only got 163 of the 568 because of Riley Leonard being as mobile as he is. Still put up over 1,100 yards, 7 yards per carry, and 17 touchdowns. Riley Leonard's gone. C.J. Carr's not a mobile quarterback. This kid's touches might close to double.
Gifts,
and he already had 17 touchdowns
donations, gifts, donations.
You really
the troll job. You're comparing him to Sony Michel yesterday. I'm
when
mad
he
at
gets
you.
to the NFL, he'll be
ripping
Sony
it right
Michel.
back around though.
Back-to-back.
With my second pick, Cade Klubnik, you got to go for the best dual threat quarterback, right?
Yeah, that's third favorite, by the way. Nick, so
I love where I'm at.
Assuming
All right,
he's
so
not
you
still.
did Cade Klubnik
Yeah,
there?
Jeremiah Love and Cade Klubnik.
All right, I get it now.
I understand.
He understands.
I understand it now. Give me Drew Aller, quarterback, Penn State. And I say this because I'm pulling for the local kid. I truly am, despite being a Buckeye fan. I want to see him do well. I wouldn't mind seeing him with the Browns. I think he has all of the intangibles, but more so, this pick goes into James Franklin, who loves the spotlight, and he's like cheesy in a Harbaugh way, but he loves the spotlight in like a Saban way. And couldn't you see this year him kind of tailoring everything to Drew Aller to just try to will him to Radio City Music Hall, because in James Franklin's own way of thinking, that would mean more to Penn State than winning a playoff game or something of substance. I'm picking Drew Aller because really I think James Franklin wishes that he could win the Heisman Trophy and he can't, so he's gonna will Drew Aller to try to win this.
No, Nick, you are so correct with this that I actually think you're wrong. Because if he was smart, that's what he would do with it. But Nick Singleton is so close to every single rushing record for Penn State football history. I think he might do it with one of the running backs. Obviously, you still have Katron Allen as RB2. He's going to command a lot of carries and do well. But he might just be like, screw it, this is my next Saquon. Please, just more recruits come.
All right, so Jack, real quick, let's recap. You have Jeremiah Love and
Cade Klubnik.
Nick, you have Garrett
I love
Nussmeier and
Drew Aller.
All right, Rob.
I guess I'm back in the SEC. I'm gonna go Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson.
All right.
Okay.
I know
thought
who
you were gonna-
Ryan's taking here.
Yeah, I mean, this one's obvious. I have back-to-back picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this will be my 3. I already went wide receiver, so I feel I'm going to go 2 quarterbacks. I know exactly what I'm going to take. Lenora Sellers, guys. I mean, the body, 6'3", 240, just 20 years old. The dude is an absolute beast.
So you thought he was
This will
gonna
be
make
the
it
year.
back to you?
This will be the year that he really steps up. It's hard to imagine South Carolina really being one of those final 8 teams, which is going to hurt him, I think. But again, I think of a Lamar Jackson season at Louisville. Not that Lenora Sellers is going to put up those numbers, but has the capability to do so. And when you see those attractive rushing numbers, they're just so insanely hard to ignore.
Or we're going to find out if he was a Gage Levarden merchant the whole entire time.
Yeah. And then for my last pick, I have to go. I already said I'm pledging my allegiance to Florida. I got to go DJ Lagway. 19 years old. DJ Lagway is, again, 6'3", 247, mobile. I'm not, I don't really believe in Billy Napier as a coach, but again, it's the raw talent. DJ Lagway can't even go into the draft. He's so young. After this season, he'll go back. So I'm going to go with Jeremiah Smith, Lenora Sellers, and DJ Lagway.
Do I want to be fun and take a non-QB?
I feel like you almost have to.
Yeah, got to have one in there.
Nah, because now that you both told me to do it, I'm not going to.
Valid.
Give me Dante Moore. So I'll go 3 QBs.
All right, Nick.
I'm scrolling down this list. I'm looking for a sleeper.
Kevin Jennings.
CJ
Imagine
Carr.
Lincoln Keenhold. Man, none of the sleepers are
Take
really all
Raiola,
that.
bro.
None of the sleepers are that enticing at
Take
all.
Mahomes.
This is riveting.
There's a
content right
sleeper
now.
here that I'm surprised no one has. Well, I feel like one.
Give
of
me
you two will
Avery
take.
Johnson, Kansas State
hate Avery
quarterback.
Johnson. I lost so much money because of that kid last year. Okay.
So Nick, you have your three.
My
Are-
three are Nussmeier,
Aller,
Aller,
Avery
Jordy was
and
betting against
Avery
We're
Johnson.
betting against him week 0, remember?
GG.
Shit.
you got to switch it. You
No
gotta
take
switch it.
backsies. No take
No, he's got to
backsies.
take. He
Can
already
I-
has money
Can I
against him.
can I give Nick? One?
I'll take Raiola. If
No, can
as
I-
a meme,
Well, can I get
I
mine
will
first?
take
It could be mine.
Raiola.
Yeah. If Jack doesn't take it, I want to volunteer.
Well, what is yours first? Give me a conference and a position just so I know if it
He's
is
a
or not.
quarterback.
From what conference?
SEC.
Okay, mine is too.
Okay, then you're probably
Okay.
gonna take it.
Okay, so am I up though? Can I go?
Yeah, you got that. So now you have one more pick. and then we're
Yeah,
done.
John Mateer
Yep,
from
that was the
Oklahoma.
one, yeah.
This kid has a sick ass flow. Threw 30 passing touchdowns last year, 15 rushing touchdowns at Washington State. Got his OC from Washington State coming down to Norman, Oklahoma with him too. The kid's got flow for days. I'm a big fan already.
All right. So the only the other favorites that we kind of none of us picked were Julian Sayin, Carson Beck.
I
Gunnar
thought about
Stockton,
Carson Beck.
absolutely not.
Almost
Sam
threw a-
Leavitt, Arizona
Almost
State.
threw a lob at
Ryan Williams would have been a
Almost.
fun one, but I don't think that's
Yeah,
that's not
I was
happening.
looking at that. That's not happening.
That would have
So
been like picking
let's,
Jeremiah
Let's throw
Love.
this out in a poll and see.
I'm gonna make a graphic. Yeah, we'll do.
All right, anybody got to get off their chest before we head out of here?
Oh, I wish I wouldn't have picked Avery Johnson.
No, you got
You
Dylan
picked- I
Raiola.
forgot- I
You
completely-
picked Raiola.
I forgot.
You flipped.
For
All
the
right, I'll
graphic,
take
we
Raiola.
need you to take
I'll take Raiola because
Okay.
I completely forgot we're betting against Avery
And it's
Johnson.
just the hair too.
We
I
need
don't
to-
like his.
Yeah.
When Jeremiah Love gets to the NFL, he will be Sony Michelle. There you go, man. Let's
I don't
work.
like you.
Let's work.
All right, appreciate everybody tuning in. We're out of time. Shout out to Garage Beer. Shout out to Fairway Forward. Shout out to the great Geauga County Fair of 2025. Go get your tickets now. It's going to be coming up sooner than you think already this month. Crazy to believe we're in August. Crazy to believe football is right around the corner. We'll be back tomorrow. Same people, same time. Until then, peace out.